Nature newunyisa kwe kusanga ministry agenda ekiriyalinga bana abayuwera be batwala ng'egamba yakafulumya ye abaana be yakakiriyalinga bali mu mitwalo 15. Yuwera ne bagibuuza nga yegamba emanyi mitwalo 16 n'ekitundu. Ani asiriwazaani? Sajja bagenda mweddeko. Mujja gamba lwaki atuwoninga bw'ato? Please, I'm your boss. Find out if you are not earning on my taxes, if you are not earning on our efforts. Abasajja bagenda because you have powers to change this narrative. But because you are also in the same business, kati mutya. Obusajja tubuleete wano butegeere bye tukola. Don't bring us in, but make a mistake and leave us out. You will regret forever. Foolery must stop. Abayuwera ne weewuunya gye bajja ogumu ekitundu bo gwe baatwala ng'ate ministry temanyi. But because they are making their clique. Lwaki ennyonyi z'abamu ezitwala abaana oba clearances ezimu zanguwa nnyo ez'abalala ne zirwa nga clearinga y'omu mu ministry? There are many questions we have to ask you. And if you don't want us to continue undressing or asking you what will undress you, even to cause for an audit, better hurry and do what we are simply asking. We need a public pronouncement on the position of migrant workers into the whole arrangement. What is our position? We need to know our provisions. We need to know what to guide on our friends. We need to know what to tell our members who are actually misinformed, misguided by these business guys, whom you decided to give the responsibility that does not belong to them all along. You come out and say a company is supposed to have a monitoring desk. Is monitoring a role of these companies or a role of government? Very clear. Can that be a role of a recruitment company to monitor? Or government? Because you fail to fulfill what you have to, then you want to attach a responsibility to someone, and they also come out shouting on us, you know, these girls don't want to work, they do drama, they do what? Because they have failed to deliver, and they are compromised, totally compromised, whatever. Mutala butazi muna nagira buna nagizi. Obusanga bugenda buzunzo obubuto mutuzunga tugenda wa ambassador. Ambassador is a government business promoter. Is he having any interest in our rights? Can he go to a labor court and defend a worker in a labor dispute? Is he even qualifying to enter into a collective bargain for workers? Why don't you separate the two? When he has to promote the business, he has got different interests to talk about. And when it comes to rights of workers, it's a different entity. Let's understand this. If you don't want to understand that, then you are yet to regret. Let me be clear on this, because it is confusing companies, it is confusing government. Wherever migrant workers come out and request for or call for recognition, we are neither asking recruitment agencies to recognize us, nor begging government to recognize us, but we are just calling on the government, that is the administrator, the responsible body concerned with recruitment or concerned with clearances for migration or for migrant workers going abroad, to recognize the position of migrant workers into the whole arrangement. We are not saying that recruitment agencies have to recognize us, and this should sound to the directors who are confused. When we call for our recognition, we always find you meandering in our way. Call for yours as we call for ours. We are not saying you don't recognize us, but what we are complaining is your interference into wanting to carry our responsibility, into wanting to defend us, yet you don't qualify, into wanting to lie to the ministry, confusing the ministry, that you assume our responsibility. And then the ministry gets convinced to start giving you this responsibility. Yet it's not yours. As if the ministry officials don't read what the documents tell them that they're supposed to follow. It seems if they're not practicing the same business that makes them lazy, not to read what they ought to do, then they just don't want. What we are calling for is government to recognize us, because it's not recruitment agents to recognize us. All we are telling the recruitment agencies to stop interfering with our rights. Go and protect your business. Leave our rights. We are here. We have grown up. We have told you we can manage it. We know how to defend, to ask for what we deserve. But you want always to come out. Even when we go in meetings, you find these weather people, always what is on their mouth. I don't know if they don't have anything to do. They are always wanting to plead for workers. Yet they are in a compromised position. They should shut up and stop pretending. They go everywhere, meeting everyone, presenting themselves as our defenders. Yet they are not. They are wrong people. They should be chased out of these offices where they go claiming to be doing whatever they are doing on behalf of migrant workers. I mean, they have a system. They have been given guidelines which they have to follow. If one gets a license, or by the time one gets a license, that person has already known what to do. Let them do what is in the license, or what the license stipulates them to do, and they should stop there. Because if they do whatever the license tells them to do, then their protection will be complete. But for as long as they don't want to do what the license compels them to do, and they want to push us away, they want to continue smuggling us within the system, they don't want to train us, they take us in training centers like this company, Macro Manpower. It takes girls in a training center to sleep, and after that they begin picking them in the late night to board. Then you tell us you are protecting us, you don't want to follow the right order. If the ministry is telling you do A, B, C, D, do that and shut up. Leave alone our rights. Our rights will come by default by you doing what you're supposed to do. Stop talking as our defenders. The rest is ours. The same way you are infringing into the issues in Saudi Arabia. Are you in Saudi Arabia? You're always peeping your nose in Saudi Arabia. Are you the ones raping the girls? Are the Ugandan companies the ones denying us salaries? Are you the ones, apart from you wanting to carry liabilities that you cannot convince us to do, committing tort? Because you want to pretend, to cover up. You want to continue lying or telling these ministry officials that you can accomplish everything in Saudi Arabia even when you are in Uganda. And then they also now relax on you, thinking that you will do better to save the Ugandans in Saudi Arabia, yet you have got no jurisdiction there and you cannot do anything because you're already compromised. This is why we are telling you, please fuck off our way. Do one thing. Look for the girls. You can go in the village, look for anyone, recruit to them, follow the process, do anything that it requires you to do. Make sure you take us for medicals. Don't deploy us before we get through the right process. This is what we want. And you should stop pretending to be protecting us after we have got trouble, and yet you deployed us saying everything is okay. You have negotiated it well. This is what we are saying. You should get out of our way, and this is what we are telling Ministry of Gender. Those are senior fellows in gender. We don't want to keep pronouncing your names. By the positions you have, we know very well you know what we are talking about, but you only pretend. We don't want to say you also have companies. That's why you are hesitant. You also have training centers. That's why you are hesitant to separate these powers. Someone comes out and you say you want to see a fourth wing. Now watch, you go and read the standards. What do the standards say? Are you deploying us in a local community or an international community? We should be following the guidelines of the international order, not you who comes out to think things will happen your way. You know? And we should also be clear on what we want. The international standards say a tripartite arrangement, which involves employer, employee, and government. So are you recruitment agencies in Uganda employees? Are you the ones to work in these Biungas? Are you the ones to work in Saudi Arabia? or you are just the brokers of these jobs. You are representing an Arab man, the other side, in which case you even owe them debts. Kuba mubeewolako sente nga mulina deploying. The same time, you want to call them for our rights. Who is fooling who? Mukoleko gumu, naye greed yabaletedde obuzibu. Greed yabaletedde obuzibu. Kyova olaba ekuba buli omu ate Allah ajja kubaswaza. Wallahi n'abalina obulimu bwe mulina kwembase nawa olwa greed, olw'okuggalawo ne muleka abaana b'abantu ne bafa. Wallahi Allah agenda kutegulula omu ku omu n'abo badirector abali mu ministry. You should listen to this. Everyone should be conscious. You are just panicking to fix something, to hide it. If you are not hiding anything, why don't you open the door? Why do you want to remain two of you there? Which kind of love are you making? Are you afraid of we entering and find you naked? Because you are doing funny things. Therefore, the companies in Uganda should not get confused or remain in the pool of confusion. We are not calling you for recognition. You're not the one to recognize us. Just fuck off our way. Give us our way as workers. We need to represent ourselves. We know what we want. You have deployed our colleagues in very sorry states where even some of them don't qualify. And they end up suffering, but you have no one to tell you this. That is phase one. We shall clarify later.